Alright, today I'm going to be doing a speech on Bob Dylan. So something some people don't know is Bob Dylan was born in Duluth, Minnesota, and he grew up in Hibbing. So Bob Dylan really led an extraordinary life, and he was one of the world's biggest musicians in some really interesting times in America's history. So today I'm going to be talking a little bit about his early life and some things about his musical career. So like I said earlier, Bob was born in Minnesota. He grew up in Hibbing, and he really didn't like it there. It was a mining town. He wasn't into that. He got introduced to music because the house he lived in had a very old radio, and so he would listen to that. He only had a couple of stations he could really tune into that were clear enough for him to listen, but that was his first introduction into music. So Bob Dylan's big main inspiration and introduction to folk music is Woody Guthrie. Woody Guthrie was a musician in the 40s who was just one of the biggest folk singers in America. Bob Dylan moved away from Hibbing. He went to school at the Maine University in the Twin Cities, and he didn't study much. He was really just there. He played music. He just needed to get out of Hibbing. And so after that, Bob Dylan famously went to New York City. He visited Woody Guthrie before he died, and he was there to become a musician. And it was during a time called the Harlem Renaissance, when there was lots of musicians and artists and all sorts of things like that, just all in one area. So now that I talked a little bit about his early life, let's get into his musical career. So Bob Dylan was a folk singer, and folk is kind of a really bare rock kind of storytelling kind of music with some country influences. Bob Dylan had a really raspy voice. He played guitar while he sang and just was a storyteller. Bob Dylan was the biggest folk singer in America, and then in his later years he started to switch to a more rock sound. He played the electric guitar. He had a full band with him, and people would boo him. They booed the biggest folk singer in America because they wanted to hear him play folk songs, not rock songs. So people would leave his shows. People would boo him, but Dylan just kept doing his thing. He kept playing that rock music, and he didn't quit. People learned to like it though, and he led quite the life. He's one of the most famous musicians from Minnesota, apart from maybe Prince. And he left quite the legacy. Bob Dylan even played at the Washington Monument the day Martin Luther King gave his I Have a Dream speech. He played for thousands of people then, and he toured the whole world and inspired many folk singers. So I talked a little bit about his early life and a little bit about his musical career. I hope this speech has kind of introduced you a little more to Bob Dylan, or maybe shared something that you didn't know about him with you. And yeah, Bob Dylan really led an extraordinary life, and he was an inspiration to so many. He's still alive. That made it sound like he's dead. He is an inspiration to many. Thank you.